Hi there, I'm Wendy and welcome to my channel where I share knitting and crochet tutorial videos for my projects and techniques. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make the long tail cast on, which is one of the basic forms of casting on for knitting. But just before we start, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you get to hear when my next videos and updates go live. And if you enjoy the video, it would be lovely if you gave me a thumbs up too. Now, there's two basic ways of casting on when you're new to knitting. You can either use the long tail cast on, which uses one needle, or you can use the cable cast on, which uses two needles. Now, neither is right or wrong, it's just a case of preference. So I'm going to pop links in the description notes below for you for how to work the cable cast on, plus how to work the knit stitch, the purl stitch, how to cast off, and how to increase and decrease. But for now, we'll get straight on with making this cast on edge. When it comes to using the long tail cast on method, you need to make your slip knot further away from the end of your yarn, and you need to make sure that you allow enough yarn before making your slip knot so that you don't run out of yarn as you're making that cast on edge. So the easiest way of calculating that you have left enough yarn is to just hold your needle in one hand and hold your yarn alongside and just wrap your yarn around that needle 10 times. So that's my 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, and then take that off and then multiply that length of yarn for however many 10 stitches you're making. So if you were going to make 20 stitches, you'd want to allow double the amount of yarn there, and so on. And then on top of that, I always allow a little bit more, a little bit of room for movement. So then we want to make our slip knot. Now there's lots of ways of making a slip knot, and a slip knot is just a flexible loop. But one of the ways I'll show you here is just holding the yarn across the palm of my hand, and I've got the end of the yarn coming towards me and the yarn that's going away behind me, that's leading to the ball of wool. So I'm just going to hold it in place with my thumb and my forefinger, and then I'm just going to wrap that yarn around my fingers once and then hold that in place with my thumb and forefinger, and then I'm going to wrap it around again lower down and again hold it all in place with my thumb and forefinger. Now I'm going to take my opposite thumb and forefinger of my other hand, and I'm going to go underneath that top loop, grab the bottom loop and just pull it through. And then that will give me a flexible loop that I can just pop onto my needle, and that will start me off with my first stitch, and I'm now ready to continue making my long tail cast on. So for the long tail cast on, I've got my slip knot sitting on my knitting needle, and I've got my knitting needle pointing from right to left, and I'm holding it in my right hand. And with my left hand, I'm just going to make like a little pincer with my thumb and my forefinger, like a little lobster claw. And I'm going to take my thumb and my forefinger between those two pieces of yarn underneath my needle, and with my lower 3 fingers I'm going to grab both the yarns, and I've created a sort of triangular effect, and by holding those 2 yarns in my lower 3 fingers I've got a form of tension, and that's the really important part for this. So I'll do that again. I've got the yarn that's trailing away to the end of my yarn at the back. I've got the yarn that's trailing away to my ball of wool at the front. I've made like a little lobster claw pincer with my left thumb and forefinger, and I've popped that between those 2 pieces of yarn. Then I've grabbed both those threads with my lower 3 fingers, and I've got some tension. So this is a swinging motion and it gets quite rhythmic. So if you just bear with me, you'll soon get the gist of what we're doing. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to turn my hand so my palm is coming in towards me and my thumb is going up. So I'll do that again. My thumb is coming up and my palm is coming towards me. Then I'm going to take my knitting needle underneath that yarn on my thumb by my knuckle, and I'm just going to take it under my yarn and up to the tip of my thumb. and then I swing my hand back and I can go behind that thread that's leading to my forefinger and grab that yarn that's on there, and then I swing my thumb over the tip of the needle and let go, and I can pull both yarns and I've created my second stitch. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take my thumb and my forefinger between both those threads and grab the threads with my lower three fingers. So first of all, I'm going to turn my thumb up and away, so my palm's coming towards me, and I bring my knitting needle forwards. Then I'm going to take my knitting needle underneath that yarn on my thumb and underneath, and I'm going to stroke that needle up towards the tip of my thumb. Now I'm going to swing my hand so my forefinger comes up and my thumb goes down, and then my needle is going to go behind the thread that's on my forefinger, so it's going to come behind that and lift it up, and that's created a yarn over. That's created the yarn going over the needle. And so now I can just take my thumb and lift my thumb over the tip of the needle and let go, and I've created my third stitch. So I've let go, and again I'm going to take my thumb and my forefinger and I'm going to take that through the gap between the two pieces of yarn and grab both those pieces of yarn with my lower three fingers. Then I'm going to lift my thumb and bring my palm towards me, and I'm going to bring the needle towards me and down and go underneath that thread that's on the front side of my needle and stroke my thumb coming up towards the tip of my thumb, and that has transferred that loop onto my needle. Now I'm going to start bringing my thumb down and lifting my index finger up, and I can just swing my needle backwards and behind the yarn leading to my index finger and bring it up, and that's taken the yarn over my needle. Now all I have to do is swing back again, lifting my thumb, and that's naturally taking my thumb over the tip of the needle, and I've transferred the loop onto the needle, and I can just tighten up. So I'm going to do that again. I've got the yarn trailing away from me that's going to the end of the yarn. I've got the yarn that's going to the ball of wool in front of me. I'm going to make this little claw pincer movement with my thumb and forefinger, pop my thumb and forefinger between those two threads, grab the lower three threads with my bottom three fingers, and then I can lift my thumb, turning my palm in, and swing my needle towards me and down. And then I'm going to go under the thread on my thumb and stroke my thumb coming up towards the tip of my thumb. And so that's got the loop onto the needle. Now I'm going to swing my thumb forwards and lift my forefinger upwards, and now the needle can swing behind that thread on the forefinger. And then now I can swing back down, and I'm lifting my thumb over the needle, and I can let go of the loop and tighten up. So I'm going to do that again for you. I'm going to take my thumb and forefinger and take it through those two pieces of yarn, and then grab both those pieces of yarn underneath with my bottom three fingers. And so then I've got this triangular sort of shape that's got some tension. And then I'm going to turn my thumb upwards and bring my palm in towards me. And I'm going to turn the needle downwards and go underneath that yarn, stroke my thumb, come up towards the tip, and I've now got the loop on my thumb and on the needle. I can now start swinging my thumb back downwards, bringing my forefinger upwards, and then I'm going to take the needle behind that yarn that's leading to my forefinger and back up. And then I'm going to swing my thumb back upwards again, and that's going to naturally lift it over the tip of the needle, and I can take my thumb out. So I'm going to do that again for you. I'm going to bring my thumb up and my palm of my hand in towards me. I'm going to take the needle downwards. I'm going to go underneath that thread, stroke up towards the tip of my thumb, and the loop is both on my thumb and on the needle. I can now bring my thumb down and my forefinger up, and I can swing the needle behind the yarn that's going to my forefinger, and that's created a yarn over movement. You can see the yarn going over the needle, and as I swing my thumb back upwards again, I can just take my yarn over the tip of that needle, and I can take my thumb out and pull both threads. So for one final time, I'm going to take my thumb and my forefinger through both the threads, grab both of those threads underneath with my bottom 3 fingers, turn my thumb up with the palm of my hand coming towards me, swing my needle down below that thread, stroke the side of my thumb coming up to the tip of my thumb, and I've got the loop now both on the needle and my thumb. I can now bring my thumb back down towards me, lifting my forefinger up, and the needle is going to go behind the yarn leading to my forefinger, and that's created the yarn to go over the knitting needle. I can now bring my thumb back up and lift it over the tip of the needle, and then I can take my thumb out of that loop. And that is how you create the long tail cast on. So you will find with practice that you'll speed up with this method, and this is one of the most commonly used methods of casting on alongside the cable cast on that uses 2 needles. So don't forget, I've popped in links below that will take you to show you how to do the cable cast on as an alternative, and I have also got an absolute beginner's version of this video that breaks it down really simply step by step. So I'll just say for now, thanks for joining me. Welcome to the world of knitting. Good luck with your projects, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.